It's very important and rarely talked about.
55-yarder, 8th time he's pinned an opponent inside the 10 this year. And Willie trying to get out of the hole with a completion to the newcomer, Justin Wilson. Second catch for Wilson, who was spotted at a tryout camp in Buffalo.
Boy, he was a three-sport in high school. Ran track and field. In fact, at one point in his sophomore year in high school, he was ranked the #1 high jumper and long jumper and triple jumper in the nation.
Dad, a track coach, also a terrific basketball player. That pass incomplete on second down, intended for Rory Collard, who hasn't had a catch tonight, and it's a 2-and-out to start the second half for Winnipeg.
And this should be real good field position. Marco Iannuzzi has a big return in that first half already in this game tonight, and Keola Antolin is the other returner back for the BC Lions.
Waiting around midfield. Good boot, 48-yard line, and Iannuzzi straight ahead. Flag comes down as Iannuzzi returns it to the 50-yard line of the Bombers. This another call against BC. And it is. So the penalty parade for the Lions continues here tonight. And the terrific field position won't be as good as expected.
BC, number 50, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, we'll take a break. Ernest Jackson has been a big factor tonight. Sarah Lesky with more on his relationship with Drew Willie when we return. Glenn to Ernest Jackson tonight. In college, it was Drew Willie to Ernest Jackson. And with more, here again, Sarah Lesky.
Chris, I was thinking of the exact same line to describe it. That is exactly the case. During university, Ernest Jackson and Drew Willie were teammates at the University of Buffalo. They entered university together as freshmen. Jackson said that he was one of the receivers that Willie referred to as the three amigos, being one of Willie's three favorite receivers. Even back then, Jackson said that he could see the leadership qualities in Drew Willie. The two of them have remained friends, continue to work out together during the offseason.
Yeah, Drew was excited about Ernest Jackson's performance a couple of weeks ago against Ottawa when we spoke with him about the 195-yard game. Probably not as excited about the 122 yards he has in receiving tonight against his crew.
Small fraternity football. Amazing how many conversations you have with players that, oh yeah, I went to camp with him when we were in Buffalo and played college ball against him. And
5 for Antolin, 2nd and 5. Kevin Glenn a couple of pumps and gets it to Antolin, and he gets away. There is a flag as Antolin is into Bomber territory at the Winnipeg 50-yard line, and
tack on some more. Like a late hit on Kevin Glenn. He had to hang in there and wait for Antolin. Or is this going against the Lions?
Thought the preliminary indication was against Winnipeg, but maybe there's more than one to sort out.
Offside, BC, number 9. Major foul, roughing the passer. BC, 93. Be a 10-yard offset, automatic first down.
So Jackson offside, but Kashawn Fraser called for the hit on Kevin Glenn, and Fraser's in now for Greg Peach, who's out of the game with an injury.
Got a good halftime piece, touching halftime piece, and Javon Olafiore was trying to block him. Yeah, Greg Peach not returning to the game as of yet.
Could barely get off the field the last defensive series for Winnipeg. First down, and a rare carry for Lambala, and the fullback gets tripped up across midfield. Namba in on another tackle, just the 4th carry of the year for Big 40. And now Namba
just went down on his own.
He's been involved tonight, made his first start last week and made 10 tackles in that game. And while Namba gets attention, will step out at 10 Eastern.
He's in business class.
So Teague Sherman has taken the spot to Don Namba. And it's 2nd and 10 from midfield for BC. And Kevin Glenn has it tipped at the line. Johnny Sears off the edge with pressure and the knockdown.
Another late flag coming here, Chris. Jamarcus Hardrick was in on it. Not sure if he's going to get flagged or...
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. BC, number 55.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty will be 3rd down.
Bombers led the league in URs this year, but it's the Lions taking the bulk of them tonight.
Johnny Sears adjusts his angle. He's been in on this blitz a couple of times and just missed Kevin Glenn. This time he adjusts, he attacks Rolly Lumbala, attacks the block, and then gets his hand up. And let's see the penalty on Hardrick. He's going after people tonight.
Whether he's got his helmet on or not. That one bouncing down for Stoudemire. They'll call 5-yard, no yards, but a decent return, which ends with Adam Bighill flying downfield as he so often does. Double digits in special team tackles for Adam Bighill on the
No
year.
yards. BC, number 8. Penalties decline. The gain is greater. 1st down, Winnipeg.
The Bola combo was in the no-yard zone.
Let's take this, and Adam Bighill, and he's covering here in the middle lane. And watch his acceleration, Stoudemire, once he gets the ball in his hands. Right here, now he's going to totally accelerate, and look at him put another spin and just drive into that tackle.
Finding another gear. There's Cotton up over the 40-yard line.
The Bombers were most successful in the first half when he was a big part of the drive. Paris Cotton had an excellent first half. He's kind of forgot a little bit late in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Drew Willie and the offense, Marcel Belfay, went back to him. He had 10 carries for 100 yards.
So back-to-back 100-yard games for Cotton, who will add to the totals here. Look at him shift across midfield and finally down Lion 50-yard line. 20 more for Paris Cotton.
And he got some offensive linemen down there cruising too. Here he is getting small again. Paris Cotton, nice cutback. Good field awareness to make that cut inside of Alex Bazzi. And watch these O-linemen. There's Morley. You see Jace Daniels getting down there. That's called cruising. Don't hang around the pile when a running back is being tackled. One of those big guys will cruise in and knock you out.
First down in Lion territory. They show blitz picked up, and Willie has a connection to Corey Watson. His first catch brought down by J.R. LaRose. Another Bomber first down and 16 for Watson.
Nice crossing right here. And Willie's the blitz picked up because it's blitz coming. Adam Bighill's involved. He gets a little play action. Remember that play action to freeze Bazzi? And then he gets the chance to get it out there. And after that play, Ryan Phillips was quite angry.
1st and 10. Willie looking for Wilson, who dives to make the catch. Let's confirm he does. They're going to spot it at the 29. He's looked pretty good tonight.
He has. And you know, now Clarence Denmark, right after this catch, we'll see if it is a catch. He might have used the
challenge flags out already.
Yeah, he might have used the ground to trap that football. And Clarence Denmark, he turned around right after that. He saw it. He had that good angle of it. And he looked at the bench and said, snap it quickly. He was trying to get the next offensive play call, I think he knew this one was trapped.
Yeah, he just went over to Mike O'Shea and was telling him that exact thing. He was saying, I wanted the snap right away.
Yeah, it is trapped, and well, you're going to get a shot from that
BC
angle.
is challenging the ruling on the field with completed pass. We'll review the play.
Yeah, he traps that on the ground.
But Mike Benavides didn't waste any time throwing the challenge flag.
I just thought it was interesting that Clarence Denmark had the awareness here. Denmark's right here. Now he's got the best view in the house of this one. He looks at it, says, oh, that's trapped. Now watch. He gets up and he goes, okay. And he looks over to the bench, goes, come on, let's snap it. We got to hurry up. We got to hurry up. Okay, you got it. Now come on, coach. Come on, let's get one call. Too late. Yeah, no, they challenged it. Yeah.
The only problem with it still would have been 2nd and 5, and you snap the ball without a proper play call, and the drive might come to an end anyway.
Yeah, and Mike Benavides had the flag in his hand as that ball was being caught or trapped in this case.
After review, it's now incomplete forward pass. The ruling on the field is overturned. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So they'll respot the football back at the 34. Bombers trying to end a 7-game losing streak. 7th time they've dropped 7 in a row as a franchise since 1930. An 8th loss would be the 3rd longest in franchise history. Trying to keep their playoff hopes alive here tonight. 2nd and 10, pressure, and Drew Willie made 2 miss, but not the 3rd wave, and down he goes. It's the 5th sack of the night for the BC Lions.
Yeah, more of that blitz look where they're going to put either Solomon Elimimian or Adam Bighill up in the line of scrimmage, and what it does is it causes the Winnipeg offensive line to take a look at that linebacker, and then they allow one guy free. This time it's Kareem Smith off the edge because they're looking at 56 Solomon Elimimian. David Menard ends up getting it sacked.
Willie's been dropped 61 times this year. Menard has 2 on the night. And from 46 yards out, Tyra Lahu is good. And the Bombers lead by 4. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. Former Bomber quarterback Kevin Glenn goes back to work trying to confirm the Lions reservation for the postseason here tonight. Lions ask for the kickoff. And Marco Iannuzzi, what a big one. Might have one across the 50. Running away from Hairulahu. Marco Iannuzzi all the way for a BC touchdown. But there's a flag back at the Lion 41-yard line. $60-yarder earlier in the half. And a kick return touchdown of 92 wiped out by a penalty.
Watch this hit here. I believe it's Alex Bazzi who's going to clip Louis Richardson right in the middle of the back and right at the point of attack.
24, that penalty is declined. Legal block, BC, 44, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, I think there was a few. I saw Adam Bighill as well, and it was right on the 0 as well.
There's Bighill, and he's got Johnny Sears lined up. That one's not necessary because it's already past the returner.
So take your pick. Chris Randall knew the flag was down. Here's Antolin. cut back up to the 33 for Keola Antolin.
You know, there's a lot of fans that say, you know, stop calling those penalties, too many penalties. Well, the responsibility is on the players. Stop hitting guys in the back. You see the name tag of the player you're trying to block, you let him go, and your turner might make a miss.
It's unusual tonight, though. The Lions, one of the most dismal teams, second fewest penalties in the league this year, but a boatload tonight.
A long second and short.
Yeah. But they short team in, 2nd and 2 for John Beck. And he'll try and follow off the right side, and I think he's going to be short just by a foot or two. Had to get to the strike, but the 35.
It's an interesting call. I mean, it's almost 2nd and 2 here, or before the snap there, and for Mike Benavides to take Kevin Glenn out. I mean, 2nd and 2 is offensive advantage in a big way.
And I think they've done that a couple of times tonight now.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Glenn could go play action in 2nd and 2. I mean, it was just a long one, maybe. And in that bubble area for Mike Benavides, and
didn't get a generous spot. It's a full, or almost a full yard. 3rd down. So the big boys hunker down and try and grind it. The 2 yards out here, and Beck definitely has it as he breaks across the 35 and takes some punishment for it.
a little look of concern there, Coach Mike Benavides. Remember, if you're just joining us, the BC Lions win this football game, they're in the tournament, and it eliminates the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Bombers can keep their hopes alive. They're slim, but they keep their hopes alive with a win tonight against the Lions.
Boy, the options are all over the map for the Lions. Literally, they could be a crossover team. They could finish 2nd, 3rd, to make the postseason. Dropped off for Jackson. See if he can take off with it. Breaks a tackle, and now breaks through for a 1st down before Ian Wild brings him to the turf. But good second effort for Ernest Jackson, who might put another 195 on the board tonight.
You know, we saw him in the first half show how he uses his size so well on those deep balls. Now he's going to use his athleticism. That was a great play to jump over Johnny Sears like that and try to cut him down low. And he reacted quickly to just hurdle.
7 for 137 for